Hall County Sports is also brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals, and remember, when you go Green Ford. By Turner Wood & Smith, serving the insurance needs of our area for over 100 years. And by McKever Road United Methodist Church on McKever Road in Oakwood. Loving Christ, loving people, and helping people love Christ. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. Well, the last games of the regular season in football were contested this past Friday night, and in our game of the week, we got to say hail to the champions. In the 27-year history of West Hall, they'd never won a region football championship until now, or at least until a few days ago. Last Friday night, that drought ended when the Spartans thumped second-place Lumpkin County 35-0, their fifth shutout of the year. Taekwon Statham had 113 yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing and 1 receiving from quarterback Jacob Satterfield. Quan Williams scored from the 41, and Ty Statham added a 1-yard TD. Tyrese Osborne took off on a 78-yard scamper, and Brad Hodson was 5 for 5 on his extra points. Now that sets up a first-round playoff date with Oconee County at the Hot Gates at Spartan Field this coming Friday. The Warriors lost their last 3, including last Friday to Elbert County, 42-13. And they'll come into the playoffs at 7-3. West Hall at 9-1. Senior running back, linebacker Cameron Millsap got into action after coming back from an injury, and he told Morgan Lee of AccessNorthGeorgia.com this one was pretty special.
What does this mean, not just to you, but to the program? I mean, can you put it in words?
It's real big for our community. 27 years without a regional championship, that's a big thing. You know, last year, 6-5, made it to the first round of the playoffs. But for this regional championship, that's huge.
What, you talked to, when we talked earlier this week, y'all talked about, making sure you prepared well so you came out fast. Did you feel like this was going to be your night by the way that you prepared this week?
I felt like we had a very strong week of practice. We were prepared for this all week, and we knew we had to come out fast and dominate this game from the start.
What, y'all had, like you have all season, you had some big plays offensively, and you played so well defensively. Talk about what those big plays did to change the momentum of this game.
Big plays are huge for us. I mean, we got backs who can break it at any point in time. Quan and Taekwon, man, they're dynamic athletes. So defensively, we just know we got to make stops. And I mean, a shutout for a team like that team that's been putting up a lot of yards, that's huge. I'm real proud of us.
How much momentum? I mean, y'all been building momentum all season, but how much does this carry over to the playoffs?
Oh, this is huge. First seed in the playoffs. I know we got a tough thing coming up, but this is huge. They coming here to our house, so it's gonna be a great game.
And finally, just how thrilled, how excited are you right now?
Oh man, it's beyond belief. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about that. I'm a champion.
Now, HCS TV videographer Henry Gomez and I also dropped by earlier in the week at West Hall to speak with Spartan head coach Tony Lottie.
Tony, in the words of that old commercial you and I probably remember, you come a long way, baby, in the last couple of years, and particularly when you took over. What kind of journey has it been to this point?
Well, it's been a lot of work. Everybody here, we've really worked hard, put in a lot of hours, and it's all about what happens in the off season, and to be honest with you, building relationships with our younger kids and our older kids, setting the example and providing the leadership that we need to move our program forward.
Has it sunk in, the fact, the first region championship? Now, I know in '95 they came close and probably lost out on a tiebreaker kind of thing, but certainly the first outright region championship in 27-year history of the school. You've had a few days to think about it.
Not really, to be honest with you. That'll come, I guess, Christmas time when, sit back and as I go through things and see how we want to change and things we want to continue on with as we move the program forward. Pretty much for me, everything shifted to Oconee County after that one, but I'm not going to lie, we enjoyed it Friday night, I can tell you that.
Well, the fifth shutout, too, and you played well. I mean, there was always, as a coach, you can find a few things to tweak here and there, but you did play well in another shutout.
That was big because that's also something that had never been done here. West Hall had never won a region title. Like you said, they've gotten close in the past, but this was the first one to actually get. But also it's the first time to have 5 shutouts in a season. And let me tell you, shutouts are hard to get.
In this day and time?
And so we're just very fortunate. Kids played very hard. Our defensive staff had good game plans going in. And kids made plays, and that's really what it comes down to is, having kids make plays.
And it has been an attitude change here, hasn't it? Not just with the football team, but maybe with the community too, huh?
Oh, I think so. We've got a great community. Our student section, I don't know if you noticed them Friday night, but they came in ready to play as well. And I've kind of challenged them here and there since I got here. We just have such great students and faculty. And I think what's nice about this now is being able to show some attention to those folks that have been here. I was happy folks like Ernie Phillips, has been here since the school opened, and to play, have his band perform in a region title game and be a region champion. I think that was a special moment for all of us.
Now, there is a danger when you do something really, really big of suffering a letdown. Now, what do you do to combat that?
Well, it's just a matter of trying to do like we've done all along, and that's keep our focus 1 week at a time. I was just in there addressing the kids, and one of them exactly said, region's behind us. It doesn't mean anything anymore. So they understand everybody's 0-0. Anything can happen. I've seen some weird things happen in the playoffs, and I've seen where if you're not prepared, everybody who's in the playoffs is good. It's that bottom. That's the way that works. So you better be ready to play and hope your kids make more plays than the other ones.
Oconee County won 7 straight and then lost 3 in a row. So what are you expecting out of the Warriors this time around?
Well, they've got a very good quarterback who can throw the ball very well, and they're big up front, and they've got a good football team. Like you said, they play in a tough region too, and the last 3 games they had were the other playoff teams. It's kind of the same way I think it played out for us as well. Our last 3 games were against the other 3 teams that are in the playoffs out of our side. So, we saw Jefferson. We scrimmaged them, and that's why I scrimmaged Jefferson. So to try to get us playing on a different level as we went through the season, and we're just going to go out there and try to have a good week of prep work and go out there and give it our best effort and let the chips fall where they may. Kind of the game plan. That's the way it's been all along.
And West Hall versus Oconee County will be our game of the week. Well, it turns out that Gainesville had already locked up the number 2 seed in a home playoff game, but they went down to Flower Branch and spanked the Falcons 49-7 anyway. Michael Byrd had his 3rd straight 100-plus yard rushing game with 120 on the ground and 2 touchdowns rushing and 1 receiving, while quarterback Mikey Gonzalez threw for 271 yards and 4 TDs. 2 of those went to Chris Williamson, 1 for 57 and 1 for 53 yards. Another one went to Byrd, and the opening score went to Rodney Lackey. Chandler Staten was 7 for 7 on the day on his PATs. Williamson recovered a fumble. Cash Jones had 3 sacks, and Chris Lyles had an interception for the Elephants, who host Creekview in the first round on Friday. Creekview comes in at 6-4 with a 4-game winning streak, including last Friday, 45-28 over Cambridge. The Branches' season ends with them at 5-5 as Jeremiah Goss had 122 yards and a TD for the Falcons. The Red Elephants will go into the playoffs at 8-2. Okay, now the other playoff team from Hall County is 6-4 East Hall. The Vikings will go in as a number 3 seed from 7 AAA after they beat Banks County 35-21. Viking quarterback Devin Watson with another big game, 117 rushing yards and a touchdown, and 192 yards passing, and 3 more scores, all of those to Jacqueline Hopkins. East Hall goes at 9-1. Hart County next. The Bulldogs lost out in a battle of the then unbeatens to Jefferson 21-14 in their regular season finale. Other season enders saw Riverside put it together in a big win, 34-13 over Social Circle. Brandon Grant had 178 yards and 2 touchdowns, and quarterback Lyle Lopez finished with 141 yards passing and a touchdown toss to Avery Cagle. The D also scored on an 89-yard pick 6 by Max McGinnis and a fumble recovery for 14 yards and a score by Carlos Wade. The Eagles will end the season at 3-7. Now, White County got into the playoffs 40-14 over North Hall, busting open a game which was just 12-7 at the half. Maddox Turner scored twice for the Trojans and had 79 yards rushing and 22 more receiving. North Hall won 2 of their last 3 to finish 2-8 in a rebuilding year. Chester T ended their season with a 41-28 loss at Monroe area, and the War Eagles will finish the year at 1-9. Lakeview ended their first season in region competition with a 55-28 loss to Commerce, and the Lions will finish at 3-7. The road to Carrollton as Hall County sports continues. you've decided it's time to get in shape. Now let Falcon Parkway Fitness in Flowery Branch help you achieve your goal. Open since 2000, Falcon Parkway Fitness features free weights, exercise machines, group fitness classes, as well as personal training in a fun family environment with childcare, lockers, showers, and 24-hour access. Come by for a free consultation with a certified personal trainer. And just next door, check out Optimum Body Care Day Spa with massage, facials, and waxing, or K. Michael Salon for hair and nail care. Falcon Parkway Fitness is your hometown family gym, located in Flowery Branch, right behind the public shopping center. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Well, it was cold in Carrollton at the state cross-country meet, and it was close, but not quite good enough for the Flowery Branch boys as they were trying to defend their state 5A cross-country title. The Branch boys wound up in second place on Saturday, 7 points behind Clarkston in the state meet. Jake Schubert finished fourth overall in 16:37.02 to lead the Falcons, who trailed 108 points to Clarkston's 101. Remember, low-score wins in cross-country. The Falcons' Grant O'Callahan finished 15th. For Schubert, well, there was quite a difference from last year when at the state meet he got smacked into a tree.
Jake, a little redemption for you at the state meet this year because of what happened last year. Tell me about that.
Well, we were going to mile one, and me and the guy, he kind of got up all over my heels, and I kind of got into a little conflict, and then I ended up getting pushed into a tree, and I got back up and finished the race, but not like I wanted to. But luckily, we had a deep team that year and still got the win.
So this year you come back and you finish fourth overall. You fairly pleased with that?
Yeah, I'm ecstatic about coming back and finishing fourth, and I ran most of the race with a smile on my face just because I finally got the chance to run like I knew I was capable of doing. So to have that redemption this year was a great feeling.
What's it like to run with a team this deep where you maybe not have a superstar, but you pack a lot of people together? Of course, that's a big key in cross country.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just the team. Like this group of guys, we do everything together. We're best friends, and we always hang out together. So knowing that you have some of your best friends out there pushing just as hard as you are and working together to achieve a common goal, it's a great feeling. And knowing they're working just as hard as you are, and especially with I run a little bit in front of them, but I know they're back there all together in a solid pack right behind me.
Literally got you back.
Yeah, right on my heels, and it's a great feeling to have.
Pretty good year for the Branch this year. Region champs and then finishing second in the state. Not too bad, not too shabby.
Yeah, we were going for the win, but I mean, second place is still great. Out of the whole entire state, we had a great year. We worked hard, and we lost 5 seniors last year, so that's hard to come back from. But I think we put something good together and came out with a solid second finish. And I'm proud of Clarkston because last year they got second to us, and we got second to them this year. And I'm glad they're the ones who got the win because they really did earn it.
And next year you look to be pretty strong. You'll be a senior next year. Looking forward to that, I'm sure.
Yes, sir. And we got 3 of our top 3 coming back. So hopefully we find a 4 and 5 and then go for the title again next year. Somehow we always come up with a good team, and Coach Sorrells is just an outstanding coach, and he makes talent out of nothing, and it's incredible to watch.
Add to the legacy. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Also at that state 5A meet, Gainesville's Juan Ortega finished 9th overall in 16:44.97, and as a team, the Red Elephant boys finished 12th in their first ever state cross-country meet as a team. Logan Petit of Kell won the individual race in 5A in 16:14.93, beating second place Hakeem Mustafa of Shaw by a little under 14 seconds. The Lady Falcons, who won the region, just missed out on a podium visit at state, finishing 5th in the girls' meet. Top 4 get trophies. Mariah Millsap was the top finisher for the Branch girls, placing 25th. Dunwoody won the girls' state 5A title with 4 runners in the top 17. Hall County Sports TV videographer Henry Gomez and I dropped by the Branch earlier this week and talked to the Branch boys coach, Jimmy Sorrells, who was not that unhappy with the runner-up finish.
Well, Jimmy, sort of a reversal of fortune from last year. Last year you took Clarkston. This year Clarkston takes you. So how do you feel about after the state meet?
I feel fantastic, to be honest with you. Obviously there's a little disappointment because I feel like we put ourselves in a position to win the title. But anytime you get second place, you can't really be extremely disappointed. And plus, it was very tight. It was only a matter of 7 points. And Clarkson's a really, really good team. So if you're going to lose to somebody, you want to lose to some quality competition.
I understand this was their first state championship in any sport. Is that right?
Yeah, I walked up to the coach afterwards, congratulated him. He's got a good group of kids, nice kids, and I said, I want to ask you a question. I said, is this y'all's first state title? He said, first state title in the school history. So kind of know how that feels here. And so it's a special moment for him. So I really feel very happy for him.
How you feel about this group of kids? I know every group of kids, you got a special bond with them. So what stands out about this group for you?
I made a quote on the mile split, and I'll stick to it. Each year it seems like we're replacing runners from the top 7, and what it makes me really feel special about that is these guys have been in the program. They didn't run the state meet the year before, some of them, and so they make the best opportunity of being able to compete in the state meet. So it's always a tight bond, and I appreciate their loyalty and their willingness to stick it through to the end.
Well, this is the kind of sport that you kind of look and see if you got some talent coming up and kind of know what you got going on. So what you got coming back, Coach?
Well, 3 of those guys will return, and they're real strong. Sean Olmstead, Grant Callahan, and Jake. Of course, Jake was in the top 10. He got 4th place overall. So we got a lot of deep, talented runners coming back, not to mention their kids that are sitting there waiting in the wings to step up and be the next top 7. So I'm really excited about next year already. You
got a strong tradition of cross country at the branch, something that I think you and the program need to be proud of.
Yeah, I mean, I am extremely proud. I don't think about it that way. I think about it from year to year. Each year is completely different, and of course, we're going to do our best each year to finish high as we can.
Now, in the 4A girls meet, Marist placed the top 3 individual runners in the race and was just 4 spots from posting a perfect score. They absolutely torched the rest of the field with just 20 points. Again, remember, low score wins in cross country. St. Pius was second with 117. That's how far they were behind. Johnson, though, from our county, was 8th place, 266 points for the Johnson girls. Individually, Chestatee freshman Lindsey Grader had a good run in her first state meet. She finished 5th overall in 19:55.87, a little over a minute and a half behind the winner, Marist Morgan-Ilse. Michaela Ellis ran 18th for North Hall at that meet. Okay, let's go to the Class 4A boys race. St. Pius won that team title with 55 points. North Hall's Quentin Miles finished 4th individually in 16:38.34, and it was about 18 seconds behind the winner, Alex Murphy of Woodward. Alex Murphy of Woodward winning the race. Now, Miles told AccessNorthGeorgia.com that he wanted to do better than 4th place.
Congratulations, Quentin, on getting 4th in the state meet. Overall, how'd you feel about today's performance?
I was a little disappointed with my performance today. I think I ran my strategy well. I think I ran the race pretty well. It was just a little too slow. The other guys were just a little too fast for me today, and ended up 4th place looking for the title, but it didn't happen today, but that's fine.
All right, you're a senior, so are we expecting some upcoming talent with next year? Who are we looking at?
Yeah, our team next year, it's looking pretty strong. We've got Corson Teasley, who's upcoming senior. I'm sure he's going to be great, probably break my region record that I set this year. Tommy Johnston, he's an upcoming junior, and I think he's going to be really great too. And then we've got a strong core of lower runners that I think are really going to come up and become next leaders of this team.
Now, Miles did help lead the Trojans to 6th place as a team in that boys race. Johnson, also from Region 8 4A, finished 7th, led by Junior Suarez, 11th place individual time. He ran a 17:04.22. Chestatee finished in 11th place there. Now, in the Class AA boys race, Riverside Military 13th in the meet, won by Wesleyan. And in the single A private school class, Lakeview's Lewis Brooks ran as an individual, and he finished 3rd in 17:13.95. Riley Friedman of Galloway won it in 15:52.43. And Robbie Keogh, Whitfield Academy, was in 2nd place in 17:01.62. Well, we hit the hardwood when we come back. Gary Glenn back here on the set of Hall County Sports Television along with Pastor Rob Bruce, who is the pastor at McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. And Rob, in a new sermon series now.
That's right, Gary. We're starting this Sunday, 40 Days of Fruitful Living, which is about what it means to be a Christ follower and really the price we have to pay to do that. So we'd like to invite you to come on out and hear what we have to say between now and the end of November.
All right, Rob, sounds good. We'll see you in church on Sunday.
Thank you, Gary.
You know, as the fall sports wind down, the winter sports are starting to gear up, and next week and thereafter we'll be taking a look at our local high school basketball teams. But on the local college scene in basketball, the Brown Golden Tiger squad's already off and running, beginning this week at 2-1 after back-to-back home wins this past weekend over Montreat and Reinhardt, 78-48 and 75-58 respectively. Against Montreat, the Tigers jumped out 11-zip, but Montreat made a run before Bernal found its stride and finally pulled away to win by 30. Kaylin Williams led all scorers with 13, with Autumn Dodson adding 12, Dominique Patrick and Claire Zimmerman popping in 11 each, and Chesterton alumnus Megan Kinnemer keying the second-half rally to finish with a career-high 10 points and 6 rebounds. Against Reinhardt, the Golden Tigers started off fast, never trailed, as 5 players reached double figures in that particular victory. Sophomore Bria Woods led all scorers with 17 points, while Williams added 14 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists. Patrick continued the balanced attack with 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, and Carly Klutz scored her career high of 10 points. A couple of other Bernal notes for you. The Golden Tigers soccer team ended its season with a loss at the conference tournament. They'll end the year to break even 8-2. Sydney Kuhn of Bernal Volleyball was named the NAIA National Player of the Week. Kuhn was selected based on her performances from October 27th to November 2nd and was chosen out of a pool of Conference Player of the Week selections. She's a senior from Johns Creek, Georgia. She helped guide Bernal to a 3-0 week that included wins against Southern State's Athletic Conference foes, Bethel and Martin Methodist, both from Tennessee. She posted a double-double in all 3 matches, ended the week with a .500 hitting percentage and 51 kills, registered 38 digs, 3 blocks, and 3 assists, and the team went to 19-11 as they ended the season with a win over Bruton Parker. Well, the Bernal cross-country team finished in second place at the conference championships, the SSAC championships in Clinton, Mississippi this past Saturday, and they also collected numerous postseason team and individual awards. Golden Tigers, who had 3 top 10 finishers, they were edged out for the conference championship by Dalton State, out of our state here in Georgia. Utami Ketchum led the way, placing 3rd overall out of 79 runners with a time of 19:08. Senior Brittany Akins finished closely behind her teammate in 4th place in 19:20, while Deschanay Honeycutt clocked in at 19:48, good enough for 7th. By virtue of their finishes, Ketchum and Akins will advance to the NAIA National Championships in Lawrence, Kansas, coming up on November 22nd. Golden Tigers also garnered several postseason conference awards for their performances on and off the athletic field. Now, 7 of the 11 team cross-country members, Akins, Annika Clinton, Ketchum, Monica Nwaje, Ismaelia Akias, Ketchum, Akins, Honeycutt, and Jasmine Ray all named to the SSAC All-Conference team for their performances at the conference meet. Diana Luna was named the individual Bernal Champions of Character winner, and the entire Bernal cross-country team received the Sportsmanship Award. I'm back to wrap it up when All County Sports concludes.
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. Treasures worth protecting. And a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
We're back. I'm Gary Glenn, Hall County Sports. Gainesville freshman golfer A.D. Winston showed he may be a pretty good addition to the Red Elephant squad this coming season. He joined the Hole-in-One Club recently with his first career ace, did it on number 3 at Chattahoochee with a pitching wedge. Riverside Military Academy's crew team recently headed out in the cold and rain to race at the annual Head of the Hooch Regatta in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The conditions were questionable on the way up, and by the time the team made it to the venue, a steady rain began to fall and temperatures plummeted quickly. Well, the winds followed the rain and steadily grew in strength overnight, and that Saturday all rowing events were canceled due to the high winds, and that made for unsafe rowing conditions. Boys still able to walk around the venue, exploring different vendors and seeing all the different high school and college crews that were present for this very large regatta. The head of the hooch is considered the largest in the Southeast. Now, the weather did clear for Sunday, and the varsity lightweight four was able to launch to compete against 30 other junior fours as well. They did not medal, but they did accomplish one goal, completing the course in under 20 minutes. 19:35, the time recorded, and 22nd out of the 30 teams, which was an improvement from their regatta at Clemson. The new coach is pleased with the improvement and the direction they're headed. And finally, our sympathies, thoughts, and prayers to the family of Danny Hammock of Mountain View Auto Repair, a longtime sponsor of this program, as you may be aware. Danny died suddenly last week, and he was laid to rest this week in Tennessee. Danny was a fine Christian man who leaves behind a lot of family and friends and a lot of folks that he helped. Danny Hammock was 69. Rest in peace. That's our show for this week. I'm Gary Glenn, Hall County Sports. Hall County Sports is also brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals, and remember, when you go Green Ford. By Turner Wood & Smith, serving the insurance needs of our area for over 100 years. And by McKever Road United Methodist Church on McKever Road in Oakwood. Loving Christ, loving people, and helping people love Christ.
Yeah.